For today's video, we got some more Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I'm going to be walking you through this week's live season challenge. And all three solo challenges are going to be in the Blanca province. Starting off with the first one, you're going to have to kill 5 Santa Blanca soldiers with a single C4 explosion. And basically what I did was I fast traveled to Marca, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so you can see exactly where it's at. And we also used this location for the third solo challenge, but again for this one we're gonna have to kill 5 soldiers with 1 C4. Now once I got to Marca, the first thing I did was grab a vehicle that had at least 3 seats. Technically you could also get a vehicle that has a trunk if you want to try to get 4 seats, but for this method all you need is a vehicle that has 3 seats. Now after you get your vehicle, you want to go ahead and park it next to the street, and the next thing you're going to want to do is kidnap at least 3 Santa Blanca soldiers and stow them away in your vehicle. And the enemies that I kidnapped were enemies that were inside the building, but you can kidnap any of the enemies except for the 2 that I'm about to show you. Now as for these 2 enemies right here, they walk up and down this dirt road. So what I figured I would do is put 3 enemies in a car, park them on this dirt road, and throw a C4 on it. And when the 2 enemies that are walking come back down this road, they're gonna end up walking past the car, and as soon as they get close to the car, I use my C4 and I blow up all 5 enemies with just 1 C4. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the gameplay play out to show you exactly how it worked. As you can see, I parked the car right here, I threw a C4 on it, and then I noticed as they were coming back, the car wasn't really near the road, so I hopped back in the car, I backed it up a little bit, and then I waited for the enemies to return. And they don't react to the enemies that are kidnapped in the car for whatever reason. They just continue walking on as if nothing's going on. So yeah, as soon as they walked near this car, I used my C4 and I blew all 5 of them up. Anyways, that's how I completed the first solo challenge. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now for the second solo challenge, you're gonna have to stay in Blanca, make sure you're playing on extreme difficulty, and use helicopter rockets to destroy Santa Blanca vehicles. And the helicopter that I chose to use was the gunship, which you can see right here. And there's actually a gunship near Blanca. All you're gonna have to do is go to Flor de Oro, and I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out so you can see exactly where I'm at. But you're going to want to go to this combat outpost that's in Flor de Oro, because there's going to be a gunship located here. And this is probably the easiest gunship to get out of all of the gunships, because at this combat outpost there's only going to be like 7 or 8 enemies, and I don't believe there's any SAM launchers near this combat outpost either. So you're going to want to go here first in Flor de Oro, take out the enemies that are there, and then steal the gunship. Now after you've gotten your gunship from this combat outpost, you're going to want to go down here next to this lake in Blanca. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see where I'm at. And there's going to be 1 vehicle on this side of the lake, and there's going to be at least 4 vehicles right here next to this helicopter. And I believe helicopters work as well. I'm not sure, but I believe they also count. So yeah, there's at least 5 vehicles in this location. So once you get here with your gunship, you're going to want to take out all of these vehicles next to the helicopter, including the helicopter. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the gameplay where I took out these vehicles. As you can see, there's a helicopter, there's like 2 big trucks, and there is also a smaller white pickup truck that I already blew up. But yeah, after you blow up those vehicles using your gunship, you should be done with this week's second solo challenge. And again, if for whatever reason you're not able to destroy all 4 vehicles that are on that side, there's also an off-white grayish color Hummer on this side of the lake that you can destroy as well. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the method I used for this week's second solo challenge. Let's go ahead and move on to the third one. Now for the third solo challenge, again, you're gonna have to stay in Blanca, and without dying, you're gonna have to get 8 headshots on Santa Blanca soldiers from at least 250 meters away. Now just like with the first solo challenge, we're going to be in Marca, and as soon as you spawn there, you're going to want to turn around and run up this hill you see up here, because it's going to give you a good vantage point, and you're going to be able to see all of the enemies from at least 250 meters away. Obviously you're going to want to use a sniper rifle, and as soon as I got on top of the hill, I used my spotting feature so I could see where all of the enemies were. And yeah, from there, all you have to do is just try to get as many headshots as you can. I would recommend that you try to hit as many shots as you can, because as soon as you alert the enemies, they usually run behind cover. So try to hit as many shots as you can. And again, you're also going to have to get 8 headshots, and you have to do it without dying. Now, I didn't really have to worry about any enemies taking me out from up here. They do call for reinforcements, but the rebels ended up killing the reinforcements that spawned behind me, and I was able to sync shot the rest of the enemies that spawned directly in front of me. And again, just try to get those headshots, try to be as accurate as you can. If for any reason, if you do end up missing a lot of shots and most of the enemies are hiding behind cover or inside of buildings, then what I would recommend you do is just run away till your hunted level disappears, and then fast travel back to Umamarca, run up the hill, and do the same thing over again. So that's how I was able to get the 8 headshots from at least 250 meters away without dying. Also, before we move on to the task force challenge, if there's any tips in regards to these challenges that I didn't mention that you think are useful, then be sure to let us know in the comments below. And again, if you're trying to level up your tier level, you definitely want to make sure that you activate it before you start this week's live season challenges. Now, as for the task force challenge, you're going to have to go to Pucara and use mines to kill 25 Santa Blanca soldiers. And the easiest method for completing this challenge is to just lay down mines in front of convoys. I believe I ended up getting like 16 to 20 kills using that method. So if you're trying to complete this week's task force challenge, you definitely want to keep an eye out for convoys, because when you blow up the first escort vehicle in the convoy, it's going to automatically give you 4 kills. So again, when you're doing the task force challenge, the first thing you want to look out for are convoys. Unfortunately, there's not always a convoy in this province, and if that's the case, just try to go somewhere where Santa Blanca soldiers are located and plant down mines, whether it be along the path they're walking, or as you can see in this video, I laid a mine down directly behind this guy that wasn't paying any attention, and then I shot the mine. And if you're wondering where this is at, this is next to the dam that's in Pucara, so there will be some enemies located on that dam that you can try to take out using your mine. And I'd say probably every 3 to 5 minutes there's going to be a convoy, so after you kill a couple enemies using mines, make sure you pull your map back up to see if any convoys are in the province. Also, for those who don't know, mines not only destroy vehicles, but they also kill enemies when enemies walk over the mine. So not only can you use them on vehicles or shoot them near enemies, you can also place them along the path where enemies are walking, and when they walk over it, it'll kill them as well. Another method I wanted to point out is that if the enemies on the dam call for reinforcements, make sure you keep an eye out for vehicles that are going to be traveling towards the dam, because I noticed a lot of vehicles will drive towards the dam once they call for reinforcements, and you can just place mines down in the street and take them out easily. But again, the best way to complete this challenge is to make sure you keep an eye out for those convoys. As you can see here, the reward you get from the solo challenges is the Santa Muerte costume, which I believe came with the Santa Muerte Ghost Pack. So you're able to get that for free doing this week's solo challenges. And from the task force challenge, we got the Santa Muerte pickup, which I also believe came from a vehicle pack. And as for the community challenge, you're gonna have to go to any province in extreme difficulty and use close quarter combat to kill 200,000 Santa Blanca soldiers on the PS4. If y'all know what it is on Xbox or PC, be sure to let us know in the comments below. And if we're able to complete that community challenge, we're gonna get the snake patch. Anyways, as you can see here, this is what the Santa Muerte costume looks like. It looks like it has a skeleton on it. And we also got the face paint to go with it as well. And here's what the Santa Muerte pickup looks like. And that also has skulls on it. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the method I used for this week's live season challenges. If y'all enjoyed the video or found it useful, don't forget to do what you do. I'm A1. Thanks for watching.